whatever. Apparently, I actually have broken the game. I've done something to prevent it from advancing at this point, and beginning the new game again will actually begin the new game again, not save my current saved bits. Like, I'll show you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The input over here, whichever one actually has that, is on 2 instead of what it should actually be on, which is something far higher. But it was the secretary's desk was number 3, wasn't it?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And then we get to the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single
So I may
person
have
here either.
lost all my
Feeling a
quote-unquote
wave of
ending
disbelief,
style progress.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping, coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
But oh well. Hopefully it doesn't affect the innings too much. There's the secretary's computer, which is not giving me the thing. Maybe that one wasn't the third one. Oh well, there's always next time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Or is it just to indicate that I'm close enough to this thing to activate the thing?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, now let's see what was supposed to happen in this room.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I didn't actually start my timer.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort
See if
to
I
walk
get the game to
forward
break again.
and willingly confront his death.
Loading. I think this time I won't actually duck.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I don't even think it got that far on me.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yep. Okay, that didn't happen before. That was the problem. Okay. I wonder if there's a way to do that, like turn on fly mode or something on the original save, if there's something.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Computers. Let's look around a bit. 431 to 436. Ah. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Nigerian spam email. The lounge. The office. Uh-oh. I don't like that that's counting down. Okay. Curious. The game is now paused. This leads back to the main chamber, and there's some things this way. Let's see, Kevin. Ooh, there should be some clips in here somewhere, maybe, somehow. I don't know how to work this. Come on.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on in.
It's actually really creepy. Okay, so there is up down arrows. What?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Click.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
And then the game starts over again. Come on. Unless this broke. Please don't tell me you broke. Or maybe it actually wants me to hit quit. But that'll do anything different. But then I have to stop recording. I don't want to do that. Which means I gotta hit all those little switches again, don't I? Yeah. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Well, that one's not working. This one isn't either, which means it should have advanced. Right? Seems to have. Alright, let's go back to the secretary. Maybe that one will be active now.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided
that
to
I
go
crashed
up
the
to
game
his
so
boss's
horribly.
office.
Not crashed it,
Coming
but
to a staircase,
broke it.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Sorry, don't forget this one. Okay, so there's 2 more left. Oh. Hello? I didn't go in here before. Let's try up first. I don't even know if that was open before and I just missed it, or if it's a change. Come on, I want to get out. Apparently I can't get out and push the button. Alright, thank you for that entertaining diversion.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
Was it
not an
2,
indication
538,
of any
5328?
human life.
I'm so
What
dyslexic.
could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the
2845.
terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Wonder if there's any other
Anxiety
interesting
isn't
pin numbers that can go in
so
there.
he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
No.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Can't back up that way, it looks like.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
104 is
Each
fired.
bore the number of an employee in the
601 is
building,
fired.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley,
that?
one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under
528?
someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Sure.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What's that down there? There's a door. There's whatever that is. Number 1. 2. 5. 3. 4. Number 4. There's number 4. Is there a code I need to enter? I mean, there's numbers all over the wall, but there's no 0, so I don't know. Or no 0 that I found. Let's go this way.
And when at last he found the source... blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I don't trust it. Come on, narrator. Say something to me. Fine.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
And audio no control.
The feeling of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And then it restarts. Okay. Oh, apparently achievements got turned on.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, I guess there we go. It did go in. Okay, so there's one more left. It's probably my machine. At the very start, for the next time I restart. Okay,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
what's potentially left? Is there any...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Curious what would
Look,
happen if I
Stanley,
go in
I
the
think perhaps we've
second
gotten off
red
on the
door
wrong
from the
foot
blue
here.
red door choice.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Fine.
Stanley walked through... Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
Oh, this is
the problem is all these choices.
the same as the other
two
ones.
of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing
seems to be,
right
anyway.
now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Loading.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Oh, something actually changes when you stop moving. That, like, fire stuff. If anything happens if it reaches the whatever, or is it getting higher or is it fading out? Nope, sorry.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this. No. No, no. What do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
I also suspect there's actually something that happens if
Stanley,
you play the baby game for
let's
4
go back
hours,
to the
but
other room. My God. Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I
backflip!
reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Spinning ninja air kick, woo!
Is it over?
Okay.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Okay. Interesting. Welcome to He Have. Buttons. 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 Did they change colors? Ooh. Can I turn them all off? No, they turn on after a time, it looks like. Curious what'll happen if these all reactivate without me pushing them now. can actually jam them shut. Is there a particular interesting way I can jam them shut? Not detecting any patterns. To restart this one. Boop. Begin the game again. Okay, so we've done buttons.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Kinda wonder if there's anything with the boxes, though. This machine says different things. Narrator's quiet now, as he should be.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Wonder if I can... Come on. Hit the button. Didn't make it out.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
Pirate.
Oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
I can't think of any other...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
endings.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I may have exhausted all the endings that I can find myself. I'm pretty sure there are others, but they may require some really esoteric stuff. Oh.
When Stanley...
Oh,
Wait.
Yeah, we're already
Wait,
on this
what?
part.
No, No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
This is the
move the
confusion
story
ending.
somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Inner guilt. Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself. Oh, I need that sign somewhere. Need that on a t-shirt. And I basically just went out the way I came in.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
Alright,
Why don't we go back the other direction?
I can't think of
and
any
see if
other
we missed
endings that I
anything.
can explore right now, so I will probably take a break from the game from now. I need to think of something else to play this weekend. Anyway, I will see y'all next time. Hearts.